Now, I've been making YouTube videos for about 4 years now, and I have never made a video about what's in my camera bag. And what is in there has changed quite dramatically from this time last year. So let's open her up and see what's inside. Now, this is a Lowepro bag, by the way, and it's a Pro Runner with a ridiculously long name, BP 450 AWII. Why they have to make it so long, I don't know. Here we go, bag of goodies. Now, this is everything I carry around with me on a daily basis for YouTube videos and photo shoots, starting with the workhorse. This is my Sony A74. This was an upgrade over the Sony A7 III, which was a very popular camera. Now, this camera is a true hybrid, meaning that it performs at a very high level for photographers and videographers alike. 33 megapixel sensor with 15 stops of dynamic range and brilliant low light performance with that dual native ISO, which I believe kicks in at ISO 3200. Video capability, we have 60 frames per second in 4K, 10-bit color profiles, the S-Log and HLG color profiles, which is more forgiving if you're not an expert in those log profiles. That's it. It's a beast of a camera. Not very quick on the shutter compared to the A9, 10 frames per second, I believe, but quick enough for my needs and reasonably priced. You can pick one of these up now for about £2,200. So it's a real bargain. Moving on to my other camera, which is the Hasselblad X2D medium format camera. No video capability on this thing, but when it comes to stills photography, it's pretty much unrivaled. Nothing comes close. It's a 100 megapixel sensor, and for the form factor, it's not actually that much bigger than my Sony A7 IV. Image quality on this camera is unbelievable, 16-bit raw color. And the star attraction of this camera is the in-body stabilization, 5-axis with 7 stops of stabilization, simply the best in the business. 1 to 2 second handheld long exposures. Now, moving on to lenses, there are a couple of new lenses in my camera bag for 2024, starting off with this. This is the Sigma Art Lens 85mm 1.4. This is my new go-to lens. I'm a portrait photographer, so it is pretty much perfect for what I do. It's incredibly sharp and bokeh-licious. Not that heavy, and compared to the Sony counterpart G Master, extremely desirable for the price. Also a great lens for automotive photography. Now, I'm a big fan of the Sigma Art range, which is why I carry around with me the 50mm f1.4. Brilliant lens. This is very cinematic. I use this a lot for YouTube videos because of the depth of field, and it's so sharp. Beautiful lens. And if I need a wider field of view for, say, landscape photography, talking head style shots like this, or environmental portraits, I reach for this, which is my 24mm Sigma Art Lens f1.4. I mean, all these lenses are brilliant. You'll notice this has a Canon mount adapter on it for when I used to use this with my Canon 5D Mark III about 4 years ago. There is a new lens in the bag as of a few weeks ago, and it is this, the 25V Hasselblad XCD lens, and it is a thing of beauty. I did a street photography video about this lens not so long ago, so I'll pop links up here or down there, and it's world class. Is it as good as the Sigma Art 24mm? It flipping well should be for the price. It's f2.5, and it is super sharp all the way through the aperture range. Well, that's not exactly true. These only go up to f16, whereas the Hasselblad goes up to f32, which is nuts. So you will start to lose a bit of clarity from f22 onwards in the corners, but nothing that you would see with the naked eye. What else do we have in here? The 45p, this is also for the Hasselblad. Really incredible lens. Pretty reasonable for the price, or in Hasselblad's terms, and very nice and lightweight. f4, and it's super sharp as well. Now onto the big dog, as they say on the PGA Tour. This is my 100 to 400mm G Master lens for the Sony, and I acquired this secondhand a couple of months ago, and it is absolutely phenomenal. I traded in actually my 70 to 200mm f2.8. Now, some of you might say I was bonkers to do that, but I wasn't really using it very much, and I wanted a bit more reach, and I certainly have that with this lens. I took this lens to the British Superbikes at Donington Park a couple of weeks ago and got some great images with it. f4.5 to 5.6, so you are going to struggle a little bit in darker conditions, but the compression and the reach on this lens is just phenomenal. I absolutely love this lens. I do have one more little lens in here, which is the nifty 50 for the Sony. I have an ND filter on the front of this one. Sometimes I use this for my YouTube videos if I can't be bothered to carry around the heavier 50mm Sigma art lens. Oh, by the way, check out this t-shirt. How cool is that? Couple of names you should recognize on there. Anyway, this t-shirt was custom made for me by a really good friend of mine called Ollie Jackson, who has a clothing label called Slimson. Brilliant guy, brilliant company. They do customizable t-shirts, hoodies, tank tops, sweatshirts, and accessories. So check them out. I'll leave links to the website, and on the website is some pretty decent photography. Thank you very much. So what else do we have in my bag of goodies? A PixaPro Speedlite. Now this is one of the best investments you'll ever make in photography and a great addition to a camera bag because it's so versatile. I don't go anywhere without this now. These can be attached directly to the hot shoe on your camera, or they can be fired wirelessly off camera using the ST3 controller. And the range on these are about 100 meters, so more distance than you'd ever need. You can bounce these off ceilings or walls and get super soft light. Great for kind of preparation shots for weddings. And you can pick these up for about 180 to 200 pounds, and the controller is like 35 quid. Bargain. And before we move on to lens filters, we have a DJI Mini 4 Pro drone and controller. And I use these for adding dynamic content and footage to my YouTube videos. You can get really good cinematic quality footage with this thing, 4K up to 100 frames per second, I think. And it also shoots 48 megapixel raw stills photos as well. And for the size, these both fit in one compartment of my bag. Now onto lens filters. Now I have a pretty wide selection of filters. Upstairs I have the Peter McKinnon Polar Pro ones, but they're all pretty heavy. So I only really carry around 3 essential lightweight filters. And the first is a variable ND filter. I use this pretty much for videography purposes. It's great, it's really nice, no color casts or weird diamond shape patterns. The next is a 10 stop ND filter by Hoya. And I pretty much use this for really long exposures, like 20 seconds to 3 minutes. Again, no real color cast or color shift on this lens. And finally, we have the most important filter in the bag, which is the circular polarizer. And this is essential for automotive photography, for reducing the glare down on those windscreens and windows. This one is a Gobe. Again, not very expensive. I don't go for expensive filters. I don't really see the need. Okay, what else do I have in here? Ah yes, a little box of SD cards. I pretty much exclusively use Sandisk cards. I think this is Extreme Pro, 200 megabytes a second. I also have a CF Express card A, which is super fast. That is 800 megabytes per second. That's for the Sony. And a couple of little micro SD cards for the likes of the drone. And I also carry around this, which is Insta360 Ace Pro action camera. Did a video about this in the French Alps not so long ago. If you saw that, thanks for watching. Really good. And I think that's pretty much it. I have a couple of spare batteries in the other side. And if I'm going on longer trips, I take my MacBook Pro M2 with me and I put that in the front sleeve of the bag. That's pretty much it. Apart from, I do carry some lens wipes. These are great little Zeiss things. And, oh yes, and I do carry an extra microphone and a receiver to go on the camera, which I'm filming you guys on, which is the A7C, and that's got a little kit lens on it. Not forgetting the all-important travel tripod. This is a Sure tripod, carbon fiber, and this is a Traveler 5CX. Really lightweight, pretty strong actually, although the ball head was a bit annoying, so I replaced that with a Benro. But this pretty much goes everywhere I go. Oh, and I use this as well, which is the iPhone 15 Pro. This is great for like close-up shots when you want to get behind the camera and do those kind of POV style street photography videos. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please give us a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more photography content. Don't forget to check out these guys at Slimson, and I'll see you on the flip side.